Okay, in the last video we talked about variables and how variables can be either strings or numbers. So in this video I want to talk about math operators, arithmetic operators, dealing with numbers basically. So let's create a couple of variables and we'll call this guy number 1 equals, we'll call him 41, and number 2, we'll call him 4 again. So anytime you want to do math on variables, you have several different options, basic operators we call them. Basically we're talking about addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and things like that. PHP handles math in a very basic, simple way, just like you would think. So if we wanted to add these, let's go echo number 1 plus number 2. We save this, hit reload, we should get 45, right? So we're just adding these two guys. If we wanted to subtract, you just use the subtraction symbol, 37. If you wanted to divide, it's a /. Save this, 10.25, 41 divided by 4. If you wanted to multiply, it's just the little star guy there. Save this, reload, 164. Another one you might not be familiar with is called a modulus, and that's just a percentage sign. And what that does is it gives you the remainder. So it's going to take 41 divided by 4 and tell you the remainder, which is 1. Think of doing division when you were in 4th grade or whatever, when you were a kid. You would just divide 41 divided by 4, and that would go in 10 times, right? 10 times 4 is 40 with 1 left over. The remainder is 1. The remainder is 1. If we change this to 35 and 5, our modulus is going to be 0, because 35 divided by 5 is 6 with 0 left over. And you don't really need to understand modulus, but there's times when you need to find the remainder of a number, and this is just a quick and easy way to do that. So what else do we have to talk about with arithmetic operators, math operators? Well, the other real basic thing to understand is incrementing and decrementing. Is that a word? Increasing and decreasing, right? To do that, you use double plus sign and double subtract sign. Double plus sign to increment 1 and double minus sign to decrease by 1. So let's save this. Our number 1 is 35. We've incremented it 1 plus plus. So 36. If we minus minus, it would be 35 minus 1. Save that, 34. So this is very handy, and you're going to use this an awful lot. Forgot to put our semicolon. For some reason it didn't throw an error. We got lucky. I'm telling you, I am always forgetting the semicolon, because I do a lot of programming in other languages that don't have anything at the end like that, so I forget. But anyway, incrementing and decrementing, I don't know if that's a word. Increasing and decreasing by 1 is something you're going to use all the time, no matter what programming language you are, because we're going to be doing things like loops, for loops, which loops, all kinds of loops. And when you loop, oftentimes you want to increment once and then loop again. Increment once, loop again, increment once, loop again, until you reach some number, and then you stop. Well, this little increment plus plus guy is what you'll use to do that. And we'll get into loops a little bit later. Just trust me that you're going to use this all the time. So these are the basic arithmetic operators. In the next video, I'll talk about some assignment operators and some comparison operators, which are pretty much the same thing that we just looked at, only slightly different, but very useful. So stick around for the next video. And if you want to get my entire PHP course absolutely free, head over to Codemy.com/freephp. That's Codemy.com/freephp.